Welcome to AI Speed, the show where AI-powered companies talk about what actually works in the market right now. Business doesn't move at internet speed anymore. It moves at AI speed. And when people figure out how to turn models into money, they will own the next decade. I'm Evan J. Chalfin, founder of Luxhammer and growth partner to high-performing brands. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Gabriela Sonsino, head of global Marcom at Vurify. Gabriela is helping communicate a really fascinating application of AI in healthcare using machine learning and cough analysis to potentially detect respiratory illnesses. And through accessible devices like smartphones, it's a space where trust, education, and clarity are absolutely critical. Gabriela, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Evan. I'm very excited to be able to share with the public what we're working on.
So, your background spans digital marketing, communications, and global brand strategy. What drew you specifically into healthcare AI?
Yes. So 70% of my career, I have worked in the healthcare industry. I have always found it fascinating how technology is advancing really fast and how we are able to make people healthy faster, to detect things faster, and just to mainly to reach people that historically have not been able to have access to healthcare, or people in general that rural communities, senior citizens that do not go to the doctor on time, people that do not have healthcare. I believe that healthcare is a birthright. It's not a luxury. So everyone should have access to healthcare. Everybody needs to be healthy, and we need to be able to provide that to everybody. So we are building an AI powered technology that we wanted to take care of those items that I just mentioned.
Yeah, and that's really unique in the marketplace right now, as far as I understand.
It is something very unique. To give you a little bit of history with how this company was developed, our CEO, his name is Emil Cansara, he saw how the pandemic just, you know, ran through everyone in the world. I mean, nobody was prepared. Healthcare systems around the world were not prepared to deal with it. I mean, doctors, nurses, they were burdened. And unfortunately, so many people died because we didn't have the technology to take care of things like that. And what he did was think, okay, how can we be prepared next time? Because some things can happen. I mean, this is not just a one-time thing. Things happen all the time. There are viruses, there are new things. So he said, let's build something. He partnered with several people, other people, some, scholars, specialists in AI. And he started to build this technology, which is something that you can download it on the phone. And what you do basically is that you just cough into it, and our technology will detect for your breathing and with your screen the sounds of your cough, and will let you know if there you have some type of respiratory condition. The conditions that we're working on currently are COPD, RSV, asthma, pneumonia. Pneumonia, we're very concerned about it, especially for senior citizens. But those are the conditions that we are working on right now. And one thing about diagnosis being accessible is that traditionally diagnostic tools needed specialized equipment. They were basically in clinical settings and they needed trained personnel. So again, going back to the people that live in rural communities, so the people that even people that do not have a car to go to the doctor, senior citizens that live by themselves and they don't have help, people that don't have health insurance, how were they going to go and, get themselves checked if they have something? So what artificial intelligence now is doing is that it is enabling software-based diagnosis. So Download it, software based, and you can get something. On device analysis, something that you carry, right? There are so many tools out there right now that wearables, on device analysis. And what our tool does is that everybody has a smartphone, or almost everybody has a smartphone. So there you go. I mean, you don't need those big clinical settings. You just have your diagnostic tool in the palm of your hands, and everybody can do it anytime. And what it gives you also is that it gives you control to take care of your own health.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So, in your role leading global communications, where are you spending most of your time right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. The majority of the time I am spending it clarifying the message of what we're doing. We have a technically complex tool that many times people do not understand it. So we have campaigns, we have several social media channels and platforms. We have a website, and we're working on building another website. Our CEO spends time also on speaking engagements. So, as a marketing person in charge of all the initiatives, I am clarifying the external narrative. I'm structuring the message because I need to make sure that we have good presence in the market, that people come and people look at our campaigns, they understand what we're doing. There are many things out there, many tools. And what we want to explain is that historically, during the pandemic, again, people had something and they went to get tested and they had a Q-tip going from here to here, right?
Hmm.
And that was the way to test them, and they had to wait 48 hours. So what I've been working on with the marketing department is to make people understand that that is not the only solution to knowing if you have something. Especially we're talking about COVID. We want to make people understand that now there are different solutions that are faster, that are easier, and also that are low cost. Labs are very expensive. Not everybody can afford them. But if you have this tool in your hand, it is this low cost and you just can do it at any time. The challenge has been just making it worth trusting. People need to trust because there are many things coming into the market. And what people say is like, oh, here comes another tool. Here's another AI tool. Like, which one do I get? Which one is better, this one or this one? So building credibility and trust for doctors, for health systems, for patients is one of our number one goals. And credibility comes with backing it up with clinical trials and with just the knowledge that it is serving people and that we're serving and that we are creating better outcomes for populations.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and speaking of that, who do you serve best right now? What's the ideal use case or audience where Verify creates the most value?
So right now we're serving healthcare systems. The tool that we have, it is not available for people like you and me at the moment because we're testing it in big healthcare systems outside of the US. So we're serving healthcare systems and hospitals, small clinics, big clinics. I mean, anybody that wants to try it, that's where we're serving it. And that's where it's being tested. We have algorithms and our algorithms, people cough and breathe into our tool, and our algorithms will screen and say, this person has something, this person has not. So that's who we're serving. It is very important for us that HCPs understand that this is going to help them. This is going to reduce the burden on waiting time of people. Not everyone needs to be specialized if they're using the tool. So you don't need that doctor to test you. I mean, you can just have the tool, somebody comes in, coughs, and then because they get a quick screening, they either move to see a doctor because there's something serious, or they can just go home and rest and have tea because you don't have anything. You just have a little cough, I'm sorry, and a little cold. And something that I would like to emphasize is that for the tool that we're developing, there is zero cost scalability. Because once our model is trained, the distribution of our tool is essentially digital. There's no cost in scaling our tools. That's like another great thing about adoption.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's huge. That's got to be amazing and really insightful for the HCPs as well.
Hmm.
So, what would you say has been your biggest challenge this year in building trust around AI and healthcare?
Right. But big in trust, to build that trust, you need to close the gap between what is technical and how it, and the adoption with the healthcare system. That would be once you close that gap, you have the trust of the people that want the healthcare systems that want to adoption. You need clinical validation and you need the regulatory approval and it needs to fit into the workflows. So a lot of times there is that resistance because doctors, nurses, they do not want the workflows to be disrupted. So there's that resistance that can create that can create a little bit of friction, but patients and clinicians, they trust, they see that it's working. You're good. You're good to go. And we're very intentional about validating a model with real data sets. So, accuracy alone will not drive adoption. It is the credibility that this tool is bringing and accessibility and the low cost that it's bringing into their settings. And the fact that anybody can use it. You don't need to be highly technical or highly specialized to use it. Anyone is able to use it.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage, I'm sure, when bringing it to the marketplace. So, uh, I'm curious, how do you actually communicate something that's highly technical, like machine learning, in a way that feels understandable and human to folks?
Yeah, no, that's so a couple of things, and there are different levels of how we are communicating what are the tool that we're developing. Number one, our CEO would be our number one person for that. So because we're still early stage, our CEO does a lot of speaking engagements. He participates in symposiums and conferences, and he partners with people that are interested in taking care of the healthcare worldwide. So communication, he does a lot of that. He's talking to people. He is spreading the word of what we're doing. So that is one essential piece. Coming and trusting the CEO, and he just has really good people in his network. Number two, digital presence. Digital presence is just very important. We are continuously improving the messaging and we want to have cohesive messaging along or all of our social media platforms, our website and campaigns. So that is how we are sending the message of what we do. And another thing that we do is that we're having clinical trials, right? So that's very important. We need to have clinical trials. And when we have clinical trials and we have people participating in them, we are communicating what we're doing. We are showing them that we want to help people with respiratory discrepancies, diseases. So those are different pieces of communication. Again, the CEO, campaigns, digital presence, and through our trials because we have people participating. Currently, we're working with some senior citizens in detecting COPD. So that is the big piece of how we're communicating because we communicate with healthcare system and we show them like, hey, look what we're doing. This is valid. We have a big number of senior citizens. I can't say where, this is confidential, but a big number of senior citizens that we are testing them with our tool. So we go, we test them, they participate. Obviously, they want to participate. Who doesn't want to participate on something that is simple? It's not invasive, that they know that in the future could help them detect if they have something. So, you piece everything together. Globally, we have noticed that it has been easier to enter into different markets. Some regulations are not as strict in other markets as they are in the US. So also showing that we are in global settings and the government in other countries are so interested in adopting and in finding out how we can bring it into their countries. So that's like, I mean, that's also validation and that's messaging. That's message.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, you mentioned some of the hesitation around doctors and nurses. What creates hesitation for healthcare organizations or the users themselves when adopting AI based screening tools?
Yeah. So hesitations for doctors, again, it is, I think that one thing that some people are scared of is thinking, is this going to replace me? So that is a big concern. Well, not just in the healthcare system. I think just right now that AI is so big in so many different industries. Will this replace me? No, we don't think that AI is going to replace anyone. That's a huge hesitation. What we are trying to make people understand, doctors, clinicians, people that read x-rays, everyone, what we're trying to explain is that number one, it is going to assist you so you can be more accurate and you can have a better reading and faster. Number two, cost goes down. I mean, AI will definitely bring costs down. And number three is the diagnosis will just improve the outcome of the person. So it is honestly a mental thing of like, I don't want it because I don't want it to replace, I don't want AI to take my job.
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, that's, a very common fear with AI, but I think a lot of people are starting to realize that AI plus human is actually better than
Right.
either alone. So the technology being put in people's hands is actually where the sweet spot is. And
It
obviously your
is.
technology is really where it's helping people.
Right. It is. It's exactly what you just said, Evan. Oh, and we have all been there, like, oh God, no, am I going to lose my job because AI is here, But for healthcare, I really believe that it is just improving. It is just going to improve the work that people do. And another thing that I mentioned earlier, hesitation, is that if you go to rural communities where people have to walk, and we're talking probably, let's talk not the US, let's think of Africa, because we're making sure that some healthcare communities in Africa adopt our technology. So let's think of Africa. People have to walk sometimes 8 to 10 miles to see a doctor, right? Because there's nothing out there. Not everywhere. I'm just talking about rural communities. If we have this technology that can be, it doesn't need to be sitting in a clinical setting, you're helping people
Yeah.
and you're helping people. So that's why we're pushing toward communities that are underserved. Right now, we have many goals, but one of our main goals is to serve underserved communities.
Yeah, I think that's really great. I mean, that's part of your mission. It's really powerful. So, what does success look like over the next year for Verify?
Yeah, success. Success looks like we're expanding. We're reaching different parts of the globe, and that we have partnerships. That's what success looks like. We need partnerships. We need funding. As I mentioned when you and I were talking, is that it's expensive, right? It's expensive to run clinical trials, to everything that a company needs to grow. So if we have partnerships, then we can expand more. And success means adoption in different parts of the world, spreading the word of what we're doing. But mainly, success is just being able to help people, reach people, and make sure that respiratory diseases do not go undiagnosed. that is a problem that we're having nowadays, especially like COPD is something, it's high burden. And it mainly goes undiagnosed because a lot of people, they either don't go to the doctor or the doctors are too busy or these people do not have the insurance and, they just they don't take care of it. So that is our goal and that would be success to help people to diagnose, to detect diseases faster at a lower cost and to make it accessible to everyone everywhere.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And that's it for today's episode of AI Speed. A huge thank you to Gabriela Sonsino for sharing her insights into how AI can help expand access to healthcare and transform respiratory screening around the world. If you're building or leading an AI native company or a service business that uses AI under the hood and you care about revenue adoption and market share, make sure to subscribe to AI Speed. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep building, keep selling, and keep moving at AI Speed.
Thank you, Evan. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.